Hello, everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to the Over There Division playoff game here in Wyoming as the Janitors, the current two-time in a row, back-to-back Over There Division champions, host the Seattle Stoats, who squeaked into a playoff spot after defeating the Beavers in Week 10. And there's a lot of different narratives going into this game, but before we get to that, the Stoats have won the opening coin toss and have chosen to defer possession to the team that they have never beat in the history of their organization. The Stoats have never beaten the Wyoming Janitors. In Season 1, they were swept. In Season 2, they were swept. This season, they were swept. And now, when stakes are the highest they've ever been, as Barry Chuckers, the return man, gets nearly to the 25-yard line, or 35-yard line on a good return. Now, when the stakes are as high as they've ever been for the Stoats, their first ever playoff appearance, they need to win one for the first time to get to the normal bowl. In under center for the Janitors is Ivan Mold, who hands it off to Tyler McFridge, who's stopped for a loss by Virgie Hamilton. The Janitors pushed back to the 30. So Bruce Bogdan, the franchise quarterback, or at least historically the franchise quarterback, is out with a minor back injury. He will not be active until the normal bowl should the Janitors win this game. That's another run that stopped for nearly a loss. McFridge diving for the line of scrimmage to make that no loss. The two failed handoffs for Ivan Mold and the Janitors, so he's going to be throwing it here. Third and 13. So it's Ivan Mold who's been the quarterback for most of the season. He missed almost half of the regular season with a broken jaw, but here he is in the pocket looking for someone open. Throws it to a double-covered Ken McStoats, who can't get his hands on it. That was Josh Boss back there. Number 34 I saw. Either that or that was... that should have been Ryan Coolier being helped out by Dennis Creamy. So the long bomb not getting to its target, and Dan Popcap will have to punt away the Janitors' first possession. And folks, what we just saw here in the first drive, two run stops and then a deep pass that was tipped away. I feel like we're going to see that not only from the Janitors a lot this game, but from the Stoats as well. Both of these teams' defenses have been incredibly good. And every time these two teams have met up, it has been a defensive slugfest. Just remember back all the way to Week 1 when this was a 10-3 game with 7 interceptions thrown by both quarterbacks. Folks, this is going to be a game that is going to be won by the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. Girani foul play up the middle to the 30 for a 4-yard gain. And the run-stopping ability of both these defenses will be tested to the limits. Both Tyler McFridge for the Wyoming Janitors and Girani foul play for the Seattle Stoats have had magnificent runs running with the ball. And if both teams can get the other out of the run here, Girani foul play. Oh, shrugging a tackle from Bill Pickle as he gets a lot of yards after that. Bill Pickle had a great run on him, but was stiff-armed away. We'll see where the referees spot this. Judging from the crowd chanting, it was a 3rd and short, and that is where it will be. So a big opportunity here from the Janitors. Foul play, play action. Brumbus rolling out of the pocket, gets a big face full of Owen Cantwell. Somewhat new to the team after being acquired from the Rollers in a trade right before the trade deadline going into Week 7. He spent time as a wide receiver most of his time in the last couple weeks here in Wyoming. But for this game, with Alan Combo being moved to wide receiver number 3, Owen Cantwell has moved back to his native home as left end. Barry Chuckers runs to the 35 before being tackled down. So both teams opening up their games with 3 and outs. And like I said, this is to be expected. This is going to be a very slow-paced playoff game, a game of chess from both sides. The question is, which team will break on through first? Ivan Mold hoping to do that with McFridge on a great counter run. McStoat getting 2 great pancakes. McFridge getting a big 20-yard run to the 45. And this is the kind of explosive plays that Tyler McFridge has been able to deliver for Wyoming this season. He's had a huge career renaissance. His production was limited in Season 2 because just like Ivan Mold this season, he was out with a broken jaw. But as you see here on the draw play, not getting a lot of yards, but when he has gotten the blocking, thanks to his great tackles, and of course, tight ends Gregory McBetterson and Jed Chadwick also helping open up those lanes, especially off tackle and on those stretch plays like we saw on that big 20-yarder there. He has been a key member of this offense. Ivan Mold back to throw. Stoats send forward to a tight end route, and it's caught. That was a Nathan Sittler post route, and Ben Zeitgeist was sitting on it. Elijah Beard also there to help out, so Mold throwing a turnover on the second play. Stoats get the ball at their own 33. And again, in week one between these two teams, there were 7 interceptions thrown by both sides. It's crazy. Gironi foul play gets the handoff, I should say. Will get 2.5 yards up the middle. Can't really get any gap going. And will be stopped for not a lot of yards. That cleanup crew, that defensive line of the Janitors, a key part of their defensive identity. You've got Kevin Indy Rock over the middle. Good reception there by Bram Van Spekeloos to the 45 for a first down on the in route. Perry Bolkison, Jamal Indy Bones, Steve Rail, Owen Cantwell now added to that line since Alan Combo got taken out and put on wide receiver. Janitors are going to be asking a lot of the 4 of them to put pressure on Brumbus. Big blitz there and almost intercepted by both Bobby Williamson, almost tipping it into the hands of safety Tracy Charger. The pass intended for Bram Van Spekeloos on a bit of a go route. And that will bring up second down from the 45. Bill Pickle looking for the blitz. And Gironi foul play stopped for a loss of 1 by Tracy Charger coming in. And yeah, you can tell by how the Janitors defense right now, they are in full run-stop mode. They know exactly what kind of weapons the Stoats are going to lean on here early in this game. But we'll see if Brumbus can play that game plan against them. Janitors only send 3. Brumbus tests a double covered Frank Mellenballer, but that's tipped away by Len Players, and that's going to be 4th down. There's a matchup I'm going to be having my eyes on for the duration of this game. That left side of the field, Len Players cornerback guarding wide receiver Frank Mellenballer of any of the Stoats, while Bram Van Spekeloos certainly is a wide receiver to watch out for. No one is more clutch on the Stoats than Frank Mellenballer. Of course, he had a zeros on the clock. Oh, nice punt here from Gabriel DeSavior, who gets a nice backspin on it. Janitors will be put at the 14. But no player on the Stoats is as clutch as Frank Mellenballer. He had that zeros on the clock touchdown throw in the Beefers game in week 10 to end the first half. And he was pivotal for winning the Stoats their slot. Tyler McFridge finds a great cutback up the middle to the 20. That's a Craig Quaffit, apparently happy that he stopped his former teammate. Craig Quaffit there, the safety on the right side, number 31 there in the back right. He was actually a former Janitors quarterback turned wide receiver, as McFridge is going to be a yard away from a first down once again, going off tackle. This will be a 3rd and short. Looks more like a 3rd and 2 to me, but we'll see what Ivan Mold has dialed up. The Stoats loading up the tackle box on the short side of the field. And Mold is going to throw. Stoats blitz, and wide open is Nathan Sittler, who goes through the blitz for a first down. Great play call there from Ivan Mold. And speaking about Ivan Mold, again, number 8 quarterback, he has never missed a normal bowl in the history of the TNFL. He was with the Janitors as a wide receiver in Season 1. He won the normal bowl as a wide receiver for the Beefers in Season 2. And now he's looking to get there for a 3rd time as the quarterback. Oh, Tyler McFridge gets a nice post route past the paws of Ryan Coulier. That was a very tight throw to make. Coulier, if he was a bit more on his game there, that might have been an interception, but the tiny speedster Tyler McFridge, I guess that was a halfback option route going for the posts. Gets the tight window for a big first down catch. Janitors into enemy territory at the Stoats 46. Or 41, sorry. Jed Chadwick on the move. McFridge counter run, tries to go up, but he is smothered by Yaden Floatboat. In fact, they're going to put that down as a loss of a half yard. We're scoreless here as we begin the second quarter. Zeros on the board for both teams in this playoff matchup. Tyler McFridge, play action, rolling out of the pocket is Mold, and he gets it to Gregory McBetterson on the corner route to the 15, where he's tackled by Craig Quaffit. Two huge pass plays for Ivan Mold on this drive, and that gets them into Stoats red zone. And yeah, the Stoats have been running a heavy man defense all season long, so if Mold and the Janitors have been doing their homework, they're going to pick those kind of routes that get separation. And McFridge up the middle can't quite find a cutback as he is smothered by Craig Holgrains, an often forgotten member of the Stoats defensive line, but nonetheless has made great contributions. And there he is making a nice, great run stop here in the playoffs, trying to make a goal line stand here. McFridge hand up the side. Kentucky with a great block. McFridge a yard away from a first down at the 6. It's going to be 3rd and short. We'll see what the Janitors do in their history. They love going for really cute throws when they're right near the goal line, but we'll see if Ivan Mold goes back to basics here. They've got power runner tie game in the backfield. And no, it's a play action. Ivan Mold rolling out. Oh, the comeback. It's going to be intercepted. Will it go all the way? No, it won't. The fast Corey Blanchard. So the pressure getting to Ivan Mold. He had a route on an out route open, and he was just about to throw to it, but the Stoats got to him too soon. The throw out of the sack, very much off target, and capitalized on the safety. That's Ivan Mold's second interception of the game. And remains scoreless here. Gironi foul play. Gets a stiff arm. Tackled from behind by Tracy Charger. He'll get about 4 yards on that play. It wouldn't surprise me until we stay scoreless until the 4th quarter. Although it's really unfortunate. Janitors send 5 over the middle, almost intercepted by Bill Pickle. Bram Van Spakel, or not Bram Van Spakelos, that was Billy Brumbus, the quarterback, under pressure. There was a bit of a scramble drill going on that, and he tried throwing it to the receiver in the middle of the field, and Bill Pickle almost made a play on it. 3rd and 8, Brumbus in the shotgun. High snap, Brumbus takes it. Janitors have pressure. It's a throw to the corner, and it's overthrown. Intended for Frank Mellenballer. So the Stoats unable to get a first down off the interception. And they'll have to punt it away. So great job by the Janitors defense to limit the damage caused by Ivan Mold's second thrown interception of the game. And this really is going to be a game where 1 point feels like 10. Barry Chuckers waving for the fair catch at about the 19. The Janitors catching 2 big breaks off of bad turnovers, but now they need to focus. Ivan Mold back out on the field. The Stoats need to do a better job at capitalizing on those turnovers if they're ever going to beat their division rivals for the first time. McFridge trying to battle up the left side of the field, but he'll be tackled down after only about a half-yard gain. I feel like the Janitors are going to have to really rely on fullback Kentucky to lead block for McFridge. They're not really getting anything on these single-back runs, but I say that, and then Tyler McFridge gets a good 5 yards up the middle to the 27. He's going to be about 2 or 3 yards away from a first down as we move to third. Same formation. Oh, no, we got Kentucky in. Stoats showing lots of pressure. With the Aiden float boat looking pretty blitzy. And Tyler McFridge can't find a lane, and that's going to bring up fourth down. Damar Hott shutting the door. The Stoats have just been so good at shutting lanes through the middle that it wouldn't surprise me if the Janitors start moving towards the outside of the field. Greg Quaffit waving for the fair catch at the Stoats 30. And again, it's going to be a game of chess this game. Both teams waiting it out, trying their best to get through each other's impenetrable defenses. So much at stake. The winner of this game goes on to the Normal Bowl to face the Michigan Hellcats. And throw out of the sack! Oh man, Len Players wasn't really ready for it, but great pressure there by, it looks like Steve Rail got to the quarterback right as Brumbus threw it. And that could have been a turnover for the Janitors. And there's 3 minutes and 3 seconds left in the second quarter. Johnny Foulplay, the lone back. And Johnny Foulplay finds a big open lane. He'll get nearly to the 40. That'll bring up third down. Stoats need 3 yards on this play to get a first. Or make that 2. Looks like they're going to do it with foul play. How will the... Yes, outside pitch, and Bobby Williamson can't tackle him down. The shoulder of Girani Foulplay powering through the veteran cornerback for a first down. That was good awareness from Bobby Williamson to try and disrupt the pitch, but that's just the brute strength of Foulplay. Clint Hardball in to replace him as we hit the 2-minute warning. Again, still scoreless in this playoff game. The Janitors have never missed the playoffs in the history of the TNFL. They went to the Normal Bowl in Season 1. They got defeated by the Beefers, the eventual Normal Bowl winners in Season 2. And now they're here to gatekeep the Stoats once again. Billy Brumbus back to throw. It's going to be a out route to Melon Baller that's thrown out of bounds. Second and 10. Brumbus in the shotgun. Janitors send 4. And Jamal Indybone gets the tuck rule sack. Steve Rail also shaking his tackle. One of the two of them was going to get it there. A big play from the cleanup crew brings up third down. We'll see what the Stoats have dialed up for a third and 10 from their own 40. In the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set for Billy Brumbus. 1 minute and 52 remaining on the clock. Janitors send 4. It's a quick pass. Tracy Charger bounces it. Oh my God! Brandon Spinkelos gets the catch. What in the popcorn jumping hell was that? Okay, great play here from Bobby Williamson. And any cornerback coach will tell you that when you go for this, Williamson is going for the interception here. He is running the route for Brandon Spinkelos, but inadvertently, he tips the ball away. Tracy Charger can't get his hands on it, and he bounces it directly into Brandon Spinkelos' hands at the 50. Oh my God, the Stoats get a huge break, a first down at the 50. And boom! Jacob Tahoe Jr. with a sack will push the Stoats back 6 yards. Brumbus in the shotgun. Another 4 wide receivers set. Janitors look like they're going to blitz in. Yes, they do blitz in. Brumbus throws it to the open Frank Mellenballer. He gets it to the 45. Not a bad play call there from the Janitors. Knowing that there was a long situation, but we don't expect them to blitz here. Brumbus looking for somebody open. Gets it to the open. Ollie missile move in the middle of the field onto the Janitors for 27-yard line, it looks like, as the Stoats use their first timeout with 1 minute remaining. I wish we didn't have the silly sideline cam so we could have seen the Janitors' coverage, but missile move was wide open in the middle of the field. Clint Hardball in as the running back. Hardball with the draw play. He'll get good yards as the Stoats use their second timeout. The Stoats in field goal range for Dion Shankmeat. Hand off to Gironi, foul play. That's stopped by Kyle Simpleton. Third down. Stoats at the 20. They're back to throw. Is Brumbus over the middle. First down. Keegan Silverblood getting the reception. Brumbus once again back to pass. Jacob Tahoe Jr. almost had his hands on the ball and led players with an interception stepping in front of Frank Mellenballer. Jacob Tahoe Jr. with the pressure. Len Players just easily cuts in front of Frank Mellenballer, and now both teams have thrown end zone interceptions. This game might stay 0-0 forever. However, the Janitors backed up pretty far, their own side of the field. The ball spotted at the 8. Play action. Tried to get it to Ken McStoat, but it's tipped away by the defender. That's Riley O'Reilly Jr. Looks like got the tip away, if the camera there wasn't telling any lies. Just 29 seconds remaining in the half. Janitors need to get it out of their end zone. They've got Tyler McFridge, the lone back, in this tight set. McFridge offers them about 2 extra yards to the 10, but that'll bring up third down. Very precarious situation here. If the Stoats blitz, they could make up the middle of the field, but if the Stoats blitz and Ivan Mold is looking for a deep ball here with not a lot of time left, that might get him. The big formation here tells me that they're just going to... what are they doing here? McBetterson on the move. Stoats shift their coverage. And McFridge on the counter run! Fights for the first down to the 20! An incredible run as we end the second quarter. And we're scoreless here. And the Stoats will get possession of the ball. I didn't realize... I thought they had a bit more time than that, but... McFridge, that was a hell of a first down, buddy. We're scoreless. Again, so much desperation on the line. The Janitors have never won the Normal Bowl despite being in the playoffs all 3 seasons of the TNFL's existence. The Stoats have never beaten the Janitors in any context. And here they are in their first ever playoff appearance here in Season 3. And the stakes have never been higher for this team. Winner will go on to face the Michigan Hellcats tomorrow night at the 3rd ever Totally Normal Bowl. We'll see what Billy Brumbus does here. It's a handoff to Gironi, foul play, off tackle. Jacob Tahoe Jr. bringing him down at the 33. Seven-yard gain on the play. The Stoats doing all they can to eat up time of possession. Gironi foul play, one of the best to do it. He'll get the first down to the 40. Len Players getting the tackle. Both running backs doing it really, really great. Average-wise, they're McFridge with 49. Gironi foul play I saw there with 39. Clint Hardball up the middle. We'll get to the 45. Five-yard gain to the 46. Stoats leaning heavily on their run game. But back to throw. Janitors sent 4. Brent Van Spakelo's trying to slide in on his knees for the possession catch that was slightly ahead of schedule. That falls incomplete. Third down for the Stoats. Rumpus back to throw. Janitors only send 4. It's a corner route to Van Spakelos, and it's tipped away by Bobby Williamson, helped out once again by JC Charger. And that'll bring up 4th down. So we're at midfield. Do the Stoats go for it here on 3rd down? They don't. Again, it's all tie game, and both teams, although I said it's all going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes, both quarterbacks have thrown interceptions in the end zones. Great backspin on that punt by Dan Popcap will put the Stoats at the by Gabriel DeSavior will put the Janitors at the 14. And now it's Ivan Mold again. He's back to throw. Under pressure, and that was nearly intercepted by Yaden Floatboat. And the pressure this Stoats defense has been able to exert, able to shake the blocks and get to the quarterback, is leading to all of these awful throw out of a sack throws that Ivan Mold is up to. Mold is only 3 for 8 on the small amount of times he's thrown. He just hasn't been able to develop any passing routes with just the Stoats. Just look at that right there. The corner route wide open is Alan Combo to the 35. Alan Combo's first reception of the game. He had the crossing route and he had separation and a half on Riley O'Reilly Jr. And as you see there, Mold, if he can establish the play, he's a great quarterback. The problem is that this pressure from the Stoats is just insane, and if the Stoats can keep that up, they will do amazing things. McFridge getting 5 yards, ping-ponging up the middle of the field off of player after player. Four-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Under 5 minutes to play. McFridge up the middle for a first down, and that's up to the 40 of the Stoats side of the field. He found a crease, and it was up to Ryan Coulier to stop him from behind. Just green turf ahead of McFridge on that run, and that is why that running back is so scary. You give him 2 great blocks at the first level and then the second level, and he is strong enough to stiff-arm safeties out of the way to get a touchdown. The Stoats get a glimpse of what could have been. Tie game now in. The power back rushing up the middle. He'll get 2 yards, unable to win the 1v1 against linebacker Yaden Floatboat. Fan favorite defender Yaden Floatboat, his 3rd season with the Stoats. Tie game still in as the running back Jed Chadwick on the move. And Mold back to throw, gets the quick one to tight end Jed Chadwick, attacking the middle of the field with a quick post route, and that is good for a completion. Great play call there. That was a really quick snap and throw by Ivan Mold to switch up the pace. And it's those kind of throws that are great to dissuade the Stoats from blitzing in, and that perhaps will get him more time in the pocket. Hand off to tie game. A really great run. Picks up a great pancake from left guard Spencer Hammerpants. And tie game fights to the 10-yard line of the Stoats. Nathan Sittler also getting a gigantic spear on Ray Trooper. Backup safety. Ball spotted at the 11. The Janitors are probably going to rely on their run game here. Although tie game single back, I'm not so sure. 2 minutes and 24 seconds and counting left in the 3rd quarter. The game's still scoreless. Tie game. Counter run. High steps a tackle to the 6. Good gain there. McFridge back in. 3 wide receiver I formation for Ivan Mold. He'll hand it to Tyler McFridge. what a great play by Virgie Hamilton. You thought that B gap was wide open for the speedy McFridge, and boom, that door is immediately shut by the veteran defensive end. What a great run stop. The Janitors stop to the 5 for a third down. I formation for Ivan Mold. Will he play action this? The Janitors are spread. Oh, a nice play action goes for the one-on-one, but it's roughing the passer from Antoine Tooney. Ivan Mold hit as he threw by the safety on the blitz, and that mistake is going to put the Janitors at the 1 with a fresh set of downs. Or no, that's half the distance to the goal penalty, sorry. But the important thing there is the fresh set of downs. Jumbo formation here from the Janitors. McFridge is stopped for no gain. This time it's by D. Jamjario, defensive tackle, and the player who was up for Defensive Player of the Year. Although Scott Kernelpop had a stranglehold on that play. 42 seconds and counting left in the third. Second down. Tie game, the power runner in. And play action, but nobody is fooled. Virgie Hamilton getting the sack. He had his eyes on the ball. And the Janitors getting a little cute. That'll bring up third down. You know, with the game as it is, I wonder if you just kick the field goal on third down and don't even risk the throw here. Ivan Mold needs to get 7 yards into the end zone to get points. Or they'll try and draw him off sides to end the third quarter. Obviously, you want the touchdown. Like, let's not be stupid here, but just... we're scoreless after 3 quarters, and it's the playoffs, man. Like... yeah, Mold will go for the throw here. The Stoats are pretty well spread out. Looking for that second end zone pick of Ivan Mold. We'll see what the play call calls for. It's a corner route thrown out of bounds. Fourth down. Nathan Sittler trying to get his hands on it, but I don't think there was a way you could have gone on it. But here comes Bronze Shoulders for the first points of the game, possibly. A 26-yard field goal attempt. Again, this score was pretty expected. We're nowhere near the 7 total interceptions thrown by both teams. We're at 3 right now, if I am not mistaken. But Bronze Shoulders kicks the go-ahead field goal. It's 3-0 here in a nail-biter of a playoff game. Not a cuticle in sight from this Wyoming crowd. As we only have 8 minutes of game time left to play in regulation. The Stoats, who have been held scoreless for 3 quarters, now need to get on the board in order to not only beat the Janitors for the first time in Stoat history, but to get to the Normal Bowl. Greg Quaffit returns the ball. He'll get to around the 17-18 yard line. Time of possession utterly dominated by the Janitors. They've got 5 minutes more game time than the Stoats do. However, not many more points to show for it. But again, that's what happens when you have 2 really good defenses go up against each other. Geronimo foul play going off tackle. He'll get 3 yards before Tahoe Jr. wrestles him to the turf. Foul play only averaging 3.4. Well, that's not bad. It's not the greatest number Johnny foul play has had all season. He's been such a producer for Seattle this season. Billy Brumbus in the shotgun for 2nd and 7. Janitors send 4. The blitz almost getting to him, and Tahoe Jr. tipping away a ball intended for Keegan Silverblood on the flat. Both teams' pass rushes have just been so good. That's going to bring up a third down. The Janitors only sending 4, but again, you have Owen Cantwell, Jamal Indybone, and Perry Bulkison. Draw play from foul play, and that doesn't fool anybody. Stoats trying to get creative with a play call there. Trying to run the ball when everybody and their mother thinks you're going to throw it. But again, with how good the Janitors' front 4, let alone front 7 has been, Tahoe Jr. in particular has done a number of clutch defensive plays in the recent quarter. They're going to be ready for that run stop. Barry Chuckers at the 35 will get tackled down just outside of the 40. Looks like Todd Bropadop getting the tackle to bring him down. Ball spotted exactly at the 40. And now Ivan Mold in control of this game as he can be with a 3-point lead. He just needs to avoid simple mistakes. Tyler McFridge will have to take this team home. No, he'll throw it over the middle. Gets it to Ken McStoat at the Janitors 45 on a slant route. It gets it to the Stoats 45, sorry. Great pass there by Ivan Mold. Again, if Mold can have time in the pocket, he's a great producer. And great hole there by Tyler McFridge. Gets 9 yards, nearly to the Stoats 30. That's his 81st rush yard. 32 of them coming from after first contact yards. So he will just stiff arm the crud out of you if you try to get in his way. 2nd and 1. More Tyler McFridge action off tackle. He just got blockers in front, but Tyler McFridge, you're seeing that one downside of Tyler McFridge, and that is agility stat. He tried to cut up the middle, and you can see that 35 agility just him to a crawl. If he just kept running towards the numbers, he might have gotten a touchdown there, honestly. 5 minutes to go in this game. Janitors approaching the red zone. 3 wide receiver set, sorry. I didn't see the little Kentucky behind Ty Game. Ty Game will get the draw play, 2 yards. The Stoats need a goal line stop here. If the Janitors go up 2 scores, especially with how this game's narrative has been going, even though, again, there's still a lot of football to play and anything can happen, a forced fumble, a misplay on special teams can mean so much. Ty Game hopping over people like it's a Mario Party obstacle course. He'll almost get the first down. That's incredible work there by Ty Game. He will get the first down to the Stoats 13-yard line. That's incredible. And off to Ty Game. Cuts up the middle. 2 yards once again. It's nice. Between Tyler McFridge and Ty Game, the Janitors really have a nice choice of the 2 extremes in terms of what run plays they want. They got the big, bulky Ty Game for power running, and they got the small, tiny, speedy Tyler McFridge when he's needed. They're really relying on Ty Game here in the red zone, but did my eyes just deceive me, or did I see Tegan Della Ross just take out 5? No, that was Elijah Beard taking out like 5 Janitors in 1 tackle. I think he just picked up a spare. 3rd down and long for the Janitors in the red zone. Felix Hambread in as running back. And it's going to be a draw play. Hambread picking up a block to the line, and it's a touchdown for the Janitors. The backup running back on his first touch of the game will pick up a great block from Kentucky. Pushing away, and he'll fight tooth and nail for breaking the play to the goal line. Janitors up 9-0 now. Again, in a game where every point feels like it's worth 10. Yeah, former Trash Panda Felix Hambread. He was a fullback for the Trash Pandas for them when they won the Normal Bowl in Season 1. And if Ivan Mold never missing a Normal Bowl was a good luck charm, then it's nice to have somebody who's been there and done that on their team. Amazing runs on enemy side of the field for the Janitors, but now the Stoats have only 2 minutes and 34 seconds to get back into this game. They've still got all 3 of their timeouts, but they need to score a touchdown and fast. A powerful kick to Craig Quaffit at the 3. He'll return it up the middle of the field and gets crunched to the ground by number 24. Who is that? That's Ari DiVelcoro. Stoats at the 24. Billy Brumbus will start in the shotgun. He has no time, and he has to go far. Janitors send 4. It's a quick throw to the flat, but way out of bounds is Frank Mellenballer. Now, it is smart football to do these sideline throws so your wide receiver can step out of bounds to stop the clock, but for one reason or another, the AI just cannot effectively do them. Yeah, we're seeing that again. He's out of bounds for the second time in a row. Again, it's a good play call, but for just one reason or another, the AI just cannot perform this exact play, and that's going to bring up a quick third down. 2 minutes and 24 seconds paused on the clock. Janitors only send 2 players. They are in coverage. And a great tip away there by Owen Cantwell. Yeah, both defensive ends were covering the flats. They were in full cover mode. They know the Stoats need to throw the ball, and they're leaving it up to Steve Rail and Perry Bulkison to get to Brumbus. Gabriel DeSavior has to punt it away, so this is devastating for the Stoats. The Janitors are going to get the 2-minute warning, but the Stoats pretty much need a good third and out here in order to turn this game around. They need a 3 and out. They need a forced fumble. Ball security is going to be so important for every single member of this Janitors offense. Again, this game going to come down to who plays perfectly. Will Mold and McFridge seal the deal? 2 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. Janitors will do this and get to the 2-minute warning. Off tackle, Tyler McFridge picks up a great block from Kentucky for a 13-yard run up the numbers. As we hit the 2-minute warning, that's a couple of times now we've seen the new fullback Kentucky, who the Janitors signed from free agency after a couple of injuries necessitated them having to fill their roster slots up. And Kentucky was such a great pickup for them, an unproven free agent. He's already played a huge part in this playoff game. Big tackle for loss by Craig Holgrains on Tyler McFridge, who loses 1.5 yards. As the Stoats have to dip into their pool of timeouts, they just used their first of 3. It's 2nd and 11. The Stoats cannot afford the Janitors to get an extra first down. Bergen McBetterson being audibled further away. McFridge on the draw play, and a big play by linebacker Leonard Kapowski. Stoats used their second timeout. 1 minute and 47 seconds paused on the clock. That pretty much forces the Stoats to go for an onside kick after they score a touchdown once they get the possession of the ball back. And it's a throw to Kentucky. Is this going to bring up a 4th down? So the Stoats will not use their final timeout. They will let the Janitors bleed the clock out for 40 seconds here. The Stoats will get 1 minute roughly on the clock left to do with as they please to try and get back into this thing. The Stoats, one of 3 5-5 teams in the Over There division. They beat out the Beefers off of a win-loss in their division, and they beat out the San Francisco Shitbirds off of point differential to earn the playoff spot. It's such a hyper-competitive division for the 2nd season in a row. Dan Popcap punting the touchback. So now it is time for the clutch players on the Stoats to step up. Stoats not only need a miracle in the form of a Hail Mary, but they also need a miracle in the form of an onside kick recovery. Janitors send 5. They throw to Keegan Silverblood on a tight end out route. That falls incomplete. 2nd down on the 20. Stoats with a singular timeout remaining. Janitors big blitz. And that's caught by Frank Mellenballer. One player's almost got the play on that Brumbus fake spike. Throws it up for Frank Mellenballer. And it's bobbled. Frank Mellenballer bobbled the catch. He had separation, but he couldn't get his hands on it. Brumbus threw a dime, and Frank Mellenballer, who's again responsible for so many clutch moments in the history of the Stoats organization, bobbles the ball. 44 seconds left. Janitors send 4. It's going to be a throw over the middle as number 19, that's Brandon Waves, fights for every single yard there. 35, 34, 33 seconds remaining. Brumbus steps back to throw. He's got no, he doesn't get it. He was looking for the Mellenballer streak route, or that was only missile move on the streak, but he couldn't get open. 20 seconds, 19 seconds, and the Stoats have no choice but to use their final timeout. The Stoats are out of options. Brumbus in the shotgun, 4 wide receiver set, all of them dead set on running seam routes. Janitors send 4, pump fake. It's a throw to number 13, Terry DeFunk, for a first down, but no timeouts. The clock keeps ticking. Even if they do get a touchdown here, they will not have time for the onside kick. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. This will be the game. And the Stoats will call it there. The Janitors pitch a shutout in the playoffs, winning 10-0, and they'll move on to face the Hellcats in the Normal Bowl. And at least this season, with the Gators being beat by the Hellcats, we have at least one division champion representing their division in the Normal Bowl this year. Of course, with the Beefers and Rollers, they beat the division champions in the playoff round to go on to the Normal Bowl. But the Janitors will make their second appearance against the Hellcats, who not only are making their first playoff appearance this season, but are making their first Normal Bowl appearance as well. We'll go quickly to the stats. It was just a defensive powerhouse. Both quarterbacks not getting too much in the way of passer rating. Again, both of them not a lot of yards. 110 for Mold, 91 for Brumbus. Mold threw 2 interceptions. Brumbus threw 1, and both completion percentages well under 50. Brumbus throwing 33%. And rushing yards, Tyler McFridge made it over 100. He was a big reason why the Janitors were able to soak up so much time off the clock and really constrict what the Stoats could do with each of their possessions. And that was helped a lot by a great blocking, especially from Spencer Hammerpants, Pedro Silverstein, and free agent Ken Tucky. Really opened up the holes for both McFridge and Ty Game. Receiving yards, not any to really speak about. 1 reception from Gregory McPederson, had the highest with 27. Mellenballer targeted twice. Of course, his huge drop heard around Seattle, unfortunately. That could have given them a breath. But yeah, the Stoats just couldn't get past the defense. And while the Stoats offered a lot of opportunities for the Stoats offense, they just couldn't get past the S-tier cleanup crew and that great cornerback tandem that the Janitors have in Bobby Williamson and Len Players. We'll go to defense. Ryan Coolier, the safety, getting 9 tackles and 1 interception. Ben Zeitgeist also getting an interception, and the Len Players getting that huge end zone pick that ensured that the Janitors would get the shutout victory. That's such a huge play for him. Sacks by Indybone and Tahoe Jr. and Cantwell and Virgie Hamilton as well. He played a great game, Virgie Hamilton, despite the loss. Responsible for a lot of hurries from Ivan Mold, especially him and DJ Jario leading to those 2 picks. But that is going